Welcome to Looking Up. We're happy to have you here with us today in this beautiful summer day. This is a podcast for Christian women, and Colossians 3 1 and 2 is our theme verse. And Paul says that when we've been raised with Christ, our aim is to set our hearts and minds on things above, not on things of the earth. So that's our objective every week. I'm Kathy Pollard, and with me is Carla Moore, and we are your hosts of this podcast, and we get together and we chat. We usually spend the first several minutes chit-chatting about life and updates and whatever we want to talk about, and then we pick a theme or a topic that we just have a good conversation about, and we hope you'll grab your favorite drink and join us, and we appreciate you being here. Today's topic is going to be, we don't know what we're going to call it yet, but we're basically going to share life hacks. So do me a favor, and as you're listening, be thinking about some things that you do that maybe other people haven't thought of, or that you think would be a fun, common sense kind of make your life easier thing that you do, and then share it with us afterwards. You can meet us over at Looking Up on Facebook or Instagram, or you can comment if you're watching on YouTube, you can comment below. But we'd love to hear yours too. So before we get into that, Carla, looking pretty in pink. How are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good. I had the most glorious night of sleep last night.
Oh, that makes all the difference.
It does, but it's because the previous 7 nights I had grandchildren in bed with me, so
I understand.
they took turns and, I never, ever let my boys, sleep in the bed with us. I just couldn't sleep. I was always
Mhm.
afraid I would roll over on them or John would, or we'd wake him up, or I just couldn't sleep, so that was just always a big no, but when the grandkids are here and they want to, for the most part, I'm gonna say, "Okay." So, I mean, there's a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old, and the 5-year-old sleeps, I think, in a circle, like, she just circles all night long, and, I mean, I had my head whacked and kicked and all that kinda good stuff, so I did okay, and I love having them right there, their little
Mhm.
faces, they're so sweet when they're asleep, but last night, ugh, I went to bed at 9:30, I think, because it was raining, it was just the perfect and slept. I only had to get up one time, so I'm good because I had a good night's sleep.
Very nice. What a
Yeah.
special week you got to hang out with your granddaughter. It was all girls, right?
Well, we had Jackson last week. We had him from
Mhm.
Wednesday to Saturday, and then we had the
Mhm.
girls from Saturday to this Wednesday to yesterday.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it
very
was it
fun.
was fun. It was better to do it that way because Jackson and Emmy bicker a lot, and so if we separate them, then we have all of the good stuff. Emmy and Clara play well together, so we
Aw.
had a lot of fun. We the girls and I made towel wraps, just the kind that you sew Velcro at the top and a little elastic at the back, so when you get out of your shower. And I had to explain to them because they just immediately get out of the shower and wrap them up. I said, "No, you use the towel to dry off first, and then you put it on," because they were all walking through the house dripping water everywhere. But we did that. I don't know if you can see, I still have the
Oh,
dollhouse
yes.
behind me. I haven't picked up anything since they've been gone, but, it was fun. I enjoyed having them, and we just did some fun stuff, and it was a nice distraction from other things going on, so that's what we've been doing.
Good. Well, we've had VBS this week. We
Mhm.
just wrapped it up last night. So it seems like everything happens at the same time. Like it's not just it's just VBS this week. It's everything happens and everything's due at the same time as other things. And I feel like that's my constant conversation with Neil is when is it gonna feel like you're not trying to multitask and meet deadlines and choose between
Heaven.
2 things. You really wanna be doing this, but instead you have to be doing this, and
Yeah.
when do we get to that point?
I think that belongs to last week's episode about heaven.
Right, what's not gonna be there?
Yes.
Yeah, urgent deadlines should be
Mhm.
on that list of things
Yeah,
for
for
sure,
sure.
yeah. But it was a good week, and
What was
one
your theme?
night the theme was truth seekers, we used apologetics press
Mhm.
theme, and then the decorating scheme was kind of the Indiana Jones
Yeah,
archaeology stuff, so that was fun. But one night, Shanna Elkin, who's Dana Simpson's daughter, brought us some corn, some fresh corn. The corn that they grow I know before they've told us the variety is called honey sweet or something like that. It is so good. So she brought us one night, I don't know, 2 or 3 dozen, and my eyes, I know, just lit up, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Ah, thank you so much." And she said, "Well, do you want some more?" And I said, yes." And she said, "Well, how much?" And I was like, "I don't know, whatever you can spare, we'll just if we can't eat it, we'll put it up." The next night, she brought us 15 dozen,
Yeah, you told me,
15
and I'm
dozen.
so jealous.
Yeah. So we gave some of it out that night. We had some kids there, so we sent some corn home with them. And then my mom and Ray were swinging by the next morning, and I said, "Well, good, because I've got some corn." So as wonderful as that windfall of fresh corn, which is, Neil and I both, there's nothing better than summer corn. We
Mhm.
both love it. I'm thinking this is VBS week. I've got Tiny Spark going on this week. I do not have time to put up a
Yeah.
bazillion ears of corn. I just don't, but you have to. It's like use it or lose it kind of a
Mhm.
situation. So I'm envisioning these all night scenarios in my future where I'm going to be up all night shucking corn. Well, so mom and Ray come by, and anyway, she ended up taking all of it home with her,
Oh.
and they shucked it and stopped back by this morning, and some of it they left whole in Ziploc. Like, they shucked it and silked it, but left them whole, and then most of it, they went ahead and scraped it off the cob for me
Mhm.
and they have it, and she was like, "Now each one of these contains about 4 ears worth of corn, all perfectly organized and tidy in their little, bin
Nice.
that they." I know, it was like the corn fairy visited my
Yeah.
house, picked up all the corn, brought it back. I said, "This is huge. You're like an answer to prayer," because I was so excited about it, but at the same time thinking, "Ah,
Mhm.
how am I gonna do this?"
Well, last week I asked you about just putting it and you said you can just put it in the freezer with the silk
Yes,
and the shucks. But why were you gonna just why wouldn't you have just done that?
because I don't have enough room.
Oh, okay.
We did that with some of that first batch that she gave us, and it takes up a lot of space, and my
Yeah.
deep freeze is already full, honestly. And so, I was trying to shift things around and move things around just to make room for that, and then I had to do it again today to make room for the rest of it. So it just takes up a lot less space if you can go ahead and shuck it off the corn.
Mhm.
Plus, honestly, it tastes better that way. That's the ideal. But in a pinch, you can just freeze the whole thing in the husk. But anyway, that was a huge blessing. And little shout out also to my mom and Ray. Today is their anniversary. They've been together for 4 years already
Yeah.
today, which doesn't seem possible, but
Yeah.
little shout out to them. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to the corn fairy.
Yeah. That was a
Corn
huge favor.
fairies. She said that Ray helped shuck. So, and I
Yeah.
felt so bad because all that cutting off that she was doing, she showed me her like thumb finger area. It had blistered.
Yeah.
Ah!
Does she not have one of those little tools that you can scrape down the side? I mean, I know you still have to cut it off, but
Yeah,
I love
she
that
said it
little
was from the
tool.
cutting part,
Okay.
that just the holding the knife, it, like, blistered her hand right there, so she had battle wounds from doing my work.
I'm doing pulling my calculator out, 15 times 12. That's 180 ears of corn.
Well, we gave away a lot of it, there was not near
Okay.
that much left by the time, and they took some for themselves, so they were doing theirs and ours.
Yeah.
So she definitely did a lot, but it wasn't 15 dozen, we gave
Well,
out quite a bit.
they were up to their eyeballs then in shucks and silk.
Yes, yes, and she said they were trying to do it outside, but it was so hot. We've
Yeah.
had some really swampy, humid, hot weather here,
Yep.
so
Yep.
but anyway, thought that was really sweet.
That was. Our corn
Mhm.
has not been great, and we can stay I mean, we've been talking about corn too much probably, but
Is it a
both of
corny
us
conversation?
I can't top that one. But we do. We talk about corn in the summertime. It's my favorite season is summer
Yeah.
corn, and ours just hasn't been very good, and we're not gonna be in Denver
Oh.
this fall, so I'll miss out on that. But anyway, I guess
Oh, that's a
I'll
bummer.
I'll live through you. I can go to Central Market and spend $1 an ear, and it comes from other places that's good, and I'll do that for a special occasion, but I
Mhm.
just like the 3 for $1 and sometimes 5 for $1 that you can get it in the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, corn.
Yeah. Ours is, I think, about $7 a dozen at the farmer's market.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Mhm.
50 cents each. So,
Yeah.
we went when we traded the kids off on Saturday, where we met them was at a rodeo, and Emmy and Clara rode in this all-girls rodeo in
Oh,
Hempstead,
wow.
Texas.
You have to
So,
take something before you go to that.
I tell you what, with Clara doing it this time, she's 5, and she was riding Emmy's horse, but
I think I'd be a nervous wreck.
I didn't think I would, but yes.
Mm.
Aaron's mom, Pam, we always sit next to each other and we're like looking at our heart rate on our watch to see if we need
Yeah.
some medicine or something. She was like 130 and I was 111. So it was, I didn't tell you what, it was all girls rodeo. So someone got out there in the middle of the dirt and tried to carve. I don't know what word to use besides carve with a tool, AGR. And then they spilled like gas. It must have not been gas in there to light it
Oh.
so that when the horses came out, they were riding through the arena. They were
Mm.
riding around. Well, it was kind of a dud and the fire didn't take very well. But even that was like, I don't know if Missy, the horse, I know she's not used to that. And so there was a
Mhm.
little more anxiety on top of that. But it was
Yeah.
fun. Jackson was excited to watch girls riding bulls. But the thing was, Amy was gonna ride barrels, and there was, like, 12 different events, and that event was 11th, and so we were gonna have to sit and wait and then drive home because John had to teach class the next morning. So at 9 o'clock, they were only on the 4th event, and we're just thinking, "It's gonna be 3 o'clock in the morning before we get home." So they
Yikes.
ended up calling it. I mean, well, Jordan and Aaron decided, there's no way she's not gonna ride barrels at midnight." That was just not a
Mhm.
wise thing to do, and there was a
Mhm.
few other reasons why we decided to get out of there, but yeah, it was an experience watching Clara, and she's fearless. Emmy turns into a different child when she gets on a horse because she's very energetic, very quick about everything, but on the horse, she calms down, it's like she turns into a different child. Clara
Mm.
is Clara, and she's brave,
Mm.
and sometimes I would like for her to be less brave, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So that's what we did on Saturday. What y'all do this weekend?
Ah, I can't remember. There's a lot. That was a long time ago.
Preparing for VBS, probably.
We definitely were, yeah. I will say that a bear has been spotted in our area, not
What?
far from where we live. Yeah, this happened a couple years ago. We have a neighbor down the road a little bit across the street. I mean, really, we can see his the front of his house from the front of our yard, but so
Mhm.
that close. But there was a bear in their trash can a couple years ago, which we thought was just a fluke.
Yeah.
But it's been in the news, and then we found out one of our members, it was spotted at her neighbor's house, and they're just 5 minutes away from us. And so, anyway,
Great.
I guess the bear population is growing in Southern Kentucky.
Do you have I mean, I would think that bear would like to eat cow. So what do you
That's
have some kind
what
of protection?
that's what we were kind of all talking about in the kitchen, but, Hillary, whose husband Barrett does a lot of big game hunting. I mean, he looks like when you see all of his stuffed everything, he looks like a professional, and,
Mhm.
I guess he is. But she said that he probably wouldn't mess with a cow because a cow's gonna be taller than
Yeah.
the bear. And, chickens definitely, small pets, things like that, but probably not. The bear probably wouldn't go after a cow is what she said, but I don't know.
Yeah. I assume it's a black bear, not a brown grizzly kinda bear.
Yeah, I don't think it's a grizzly. I think it's just like a Gatlinburg kinda bear, whatever
Yeah.
those are.
Yeah, I'm still scared of those, but
Yeah, I
I know
don't
they're not as fierce.
yeah, I don't wanna come upon one, but, I
No.
don't really know anything about him, but
We took Jackson
anyway.
to the zoo. There's a little Austin Zoo, and it's small and it's cute, but there's a bear enclosure, and they have it's a pathway that goes over, like, the bears are in this side and in this side, and they walk over. I don't wanna call it a tunnel, but it's like a walkover, and
Mhm.
the bear walked over us while we were there, and they were all sitting in the water because it's July in Texas, and I don't think they're built for July in Texas,
Poor
but they're
things.
fascinating. Yeah, exactly.
Aw. Well, I did wanna say, shifting gears a little bit, um, we lost a sweet sister this
Mm,
week, Anita Hockdorf.
yeah.
She and her husband, Sean, we have known for a few years. They did mission like boots on the ground type mission work in Tanzania,
Mhm.
and had some trips over there when they were there, and she was a remarkable woman and, has really been struggling for a long time, but, wanna pray for the Hochtor family and their loss and, their kids and grandkids, and
Yeah.
she was
Absolutely.
yeah, still
Absolutely.
fairly young, so
Sean is her husband. Where do
mhm.
they live now? I couldn't remember. I was trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure where
Back
they
in
were
Texas, I was
currently.
thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
Mhm.
I was sorry to hear that. I didn't realize I had kind of lost a little bit of touch with them, so I
Mhm.
didn't was completely surprised by that.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to remember to share that. I know it's a little more sobering, but if everybody could be praying for their
Yeah.
family, and then I
Yeah.
have a couple of silly things to talk about before we get into our life hacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple things, but one of them is just that I guess you're seeing pictures of everybody from PTP, and we couldn't go this year. We're going to, camp next week. We're gonna do Peach Valley Camp with Jordan and Aaron, this,
Mhm.
kind of a leadership camp that we used to do it every year, and then when we started Bible Passages, we weren't able to because we were going to Denver, but, I'm just kinda feeling a little jelly about everybody being at Branson PTP, but we're gonna get to go to Sevierville, and I just wanted to tell everybody that if you are coming to Sevierville PTP, Bible Passages is gonna have another booth like we did last year with a alternate reality not alternate reality, virtual reality. I guess that kind of is an alternate reality. This is why I don't talk about technology because I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
But last year we had the Oculus, and it's called something different now, but probably most people would understand what I'm talking about, the big white Oculus that sits on your head. And this year it's gonna be, Experience Athens. I wish you could see this because you would enjoy it. Patrick Hammock has been working on this with John. Gonna start out with a model of how Athens used to look up on the Parthenon,
Mhm.
the Acropolis in the Parthenon. And then it's going to fade to the modern day, what it looks like right now. So you'll get a kind of a view of what it used to look like 2,000 years ago and what it looks like now. And it's also going to be down on Mars Hill. So if you've ever seen pictures of Mars Hill, what it looks like now, it just looks like a big rock. But Patrick has created a model of that too that will kind of give an idea of what they think Mars Hill looks like. And you can see the Acropolis it's just right below the Acropolis. So it's going to give a neat view of what it looked like then. And just to imagine Paul, I think he's even got kind of people that look like they're listening to Paul in this model. And you
Mhm.
can look at the Acropolis, and it just brings that to life when you know Acts 17, 18. I believe it's 17, talking about Paul
Mhm.
being on Mars Hill and talking about God being in temples not made with hands. And there's that temple up there that was made with human hands that people were worshiping. Diana, I believe it was Diana. I shouldn't even go off script because I'm not good at this kind of thing, but it's going to be neat. And so come by our booth at PTP in Sevierville next month. And there's also a new app coming out. It's called BP360. And you can, with your phone, you can kind of do the 360 view, or you can, if you have an Oculus, you can look at it that way and just get kind of an immersive experience. And I think also John has given a narration. So when you have that Oculus on, it has audio and he explains what you're looking at. So I'm excited about it.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool. Yeah, that'll be worth the price of admission to PTP right there.
for sure. For sure.
Well, I think I'm gonna make a note and save one of these things for next week because I know we
Okay.
need to get moving. But I will share if you're still looking for something to watch this summer. Neil and I can't remember if I mentioned this last time, but I don't think I did. We watched The Sheep Detectives. Did I say that on
Oh,
here
uh-uh.
already?
I haven't heard
That
that.
cute new movie with Hugh Jackman. It's adorable.
I write it down.
It is good. It's The Sheep Detectives, and Hugh Jackman's character reads mysteries to his herd of sheep every night, and, but he ends up being killed. And so the sheep decide, now that they've heard all these mystery stories, they, of course, know how to solve a mystery, and so they
Uh-huh.
decide to do that, and they talk to each other, but only when other people aren't around. And when I first saw it, I didn't think I'd really like it because it sounded a little bit juvenile, like more of a
Hokey.
child-friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very good. It is very good. It is worth the watch.
Is it in
The
the
Sheep
theater or
Detectives.
on
You can
streaming
already
somewhere?
stream it. You can already
Okay.
stream it. Yeah, we were streaming it, so and
Okay.
then, the other thing is the Little House on the Prairie, the brand new series,
Mhm.
very good, very
Yeah.
good. We've already watched several episodes, and, Heather Pascal said that, I believe it's Michael Landon's son that's
Mhm.
doing this, and he's trying to be more true to the actual books.
Right.
And I was so nervous to watch it because I thought they're
Mm.
gonna mess this up. They always do. Anytime they do a remake of a classic, it's like they just have to get in there and mess it up somehow.
Yeah.
But it's been very good. We have really enjoyed it. In fact, we're kind of sad because I think there's only like 8
Right.
episodes ready right now, and we're trying not to rush through it so quick that it's all over. But so those are 2 little, if you haven't already and you're looking for something to watch this summer, The Sheep Detectives and Little House on the Prairie series, the new one.
We turned that on with the girls. We checked with Jordan and Aaron first before we did, and they said, "Yeah, that'd be fine." And there was a couple of little things that were scary for them, and they wanted to fast forward through some of it. But I mean, I didn't think it was scary, but for a 5-year-old, maybe.
Mm,
But yeah, super good. We
yeah,
we enjoyed it. So yeah,
yeah,
I second that recommendation.
yeah. All right. So anything else? We got about 25 minutes left before I have to leave.
Oh, no, let's do our hacks.
Yeah. All right. So we're doing life hacks. This episode idea was my sister's idea. I was talking about something with her one time and she said, I've never thought about that. You should do a whole show on life hacks, which I just kind of laughed at because I don't have anything. And the proof of that is the fact that she mentioned this idea months and months and months ago.
Mhm.
And I'm just now scrounged up enough to
Yeah.
think maybe we could talk about that a little bit. So none of these are, I'm just going to go right out and say, I mean, please keep listening. Don't turn us off. But none of these are
Oh,
going to
I've
like
got
blow your
some
socks off.
fabulous ones.
Yes. But even then, we still have, assuming we have time for it, we have something good for you at the end. So why
Yeah.
don't you kick us off, Carla, and we'll just maybe take turns.
Okay, this one's a silly one, but that's when I mentioned it to you, this is when you said, "Oh, Christy said we should do a life hacks. You should save that for the life hacks episode." So, if you use an Apple Watch, there's a timer on your Apple Watch, and you can rearrange your face, the face of your watch, to show the things that
I just
well, you
pictured rearrange your face.
you can. In fact, my mother
Wow.
often told me to rearrange my face, fix your face a few times, but you can fix the face of your watch so that the timer, and I have mine at the top left-hand corner. So what I use it for the most often is when I put things in the dryer, like if I have a linen dress
Mhm,
that I just want just a little bit, 5 or 10 minutes.
mhm,
But
mhm,
I know because I know myself, if I don't set a timer, I will not remember
mhm,
that. And so if you
mhm.
set it on your watch, you just have it on your wrist, and it not only makes a sound, but it buzzes your wrist too. So you can't really ignore it until you turn it off. So I set it for all kinds of things now. I use it especially for the dryer. If I have eggs boiling, if I have tea steeping, something like that, I'll just quickly, since it's right on the very top, it's a quick little touch and it's ready to go. So set your timer on your watch for those things that you have struggles remembering to do. And I think that is a kind of a easy little quick life hack if you have an Apple Watch.
Yeah, that's a really good one because I am so bad about, I'll just come back and pull this out in 5 or 10 minutes, and then next thing
Yeah.
I know, the jar buzzer's going off, and I left it in there the whole time,
Mhm.
and it shrunk or whatever I didn't want
Yeah.
it to do. And then
Yeah.
another thing is I've just switched to homemade laundry detergent, which is a powdered detergent, so I have to start it the water
Mhm.
first to dissolve it, and it only takes a minute or 2. Well, I'm just gonna walk off and do this and then
Yeah.
come back, and I come back and the whole washing machine's filled up because I forgot.
Mhm.
I've actually had it go through a whole cycle with no
Yeah.
clothes in it.
Yeah. That's what I thought you were going to say because I've done that
Yeah,
too.
that has happened, that has happened.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that'd be really handy.
Yeah.
Alright, so my first one is that, I don't know if this ever happens in your household, but sometimes Neil and I might get in a little tiff about our chargers.
Oh,
Like, if one
because
goes
he never has one
missing.
and he wants yours?
Yes, yes. One goes missing or we find one, "No, that's mine. Nuh I always keep mine here. Nuh you took yours to work," that kinda thing. Well, you can personalize if anybody's watching, you can see. You can personalize your charging bricks with washi tape.
Mhm.
So, on this little phone one, I've got 2 different patterns, and one's a little bit thicker than the other that I used there.
Yeah.
And then on the one from my laptop, you know how you can get the washi tape that's really wide?
Mhm.
So I got that one with a little skinny kinda coordinating pattern right there, but you can do this and then first of all, you can make it look girly so the guys won't wanna
Yeah.
walk off with it.
Yeah.
And it's aesthetically pleasing,
Mhm.
but just so there's no more, "That was my charger. Nuh-uh, that was you took mine, and you know how sometimes when the end of it snaps or gets crooked or wobbly-jawed and you're like, "Yours is the broken one." "No, it's not."
Mhm.
We never do that.
No, but other people, I'm sure, will find it
Yeah,
helpful.
I'm just saying, I know other people probably do, and so now
Mhm.
you can use washi tape and personalize your
Yeah. That's much nicer than the skull and crossbones that I drew on mine,
Yeah.
because he doesn't ever bring his when we go somewhere. He
Mhm,
forget that's the thing he forgets, and
mhm.
that's number 2 behind toothbrushes that I don't wanna share. Number
That's
1 is a
right.
toothbrush. I'm not gonna
That's
share my
right.
toothbrush. I love you. I'll kiss you, but
Uh,
you cannot use my toothbrush, sorry. So
Amen.
here's a life hack for that. You can carry those little throwaway toothbrushes for your husband that forgets to bring his toothbrush.
That's right. Alright, what you got?
Okay, my next one. So the I know I've talked on here before about sleep issues. And so John has restless legs. Not as bad now. Before his heart event, it was bad. So there must have been some kind of medication that they put him on after that that helped the restless legs because it's not as bad.
Mm,
But still, it's it's not fun because you want to love the person laying next to you and not be really mad at them during the night. So we ended up buying a split king mattress. So it's basically but you don't have to buy a split king. You can buy 2 twin mattresses and then put them on a king frame together,
mhm,
and they'll stay together. But but then there's also the problem of covers because if you, like me, sleep with the covers pulled under your chin, and then that person rolls over and jerks the covers out from under you, that can be a problem as well. So what we have gone to doing, and I don't love every aspect of it, but we each have our own twin size comforter.
mhm,
And that so we basically have 2 twin size beds with twin sheets, twin comforters on them. And in the wintertime, I mean, when I make up the bed fully, I throw the big king comforter over both of the twins so that it looks like
mhm,
one solid bed. But it really has made a difference in both of us being able to sleep. He's not worried about disturbing me, and I'm not, let's use the word cranky, about him jerking my comforter out from under my chin, waking me up 14 times in the night. So just a split king or 2 twins. And like I said, there's things I don't love about it because you do have that big divide in the middle, but there's ways to
mhm,
work around that. You can
mhm.
also, if you don't, you can put a big um, mattress pad or what are those, the foam, memory foam
Memory foam,
on
mhm,
top of both of the twins and make it a big king if you don't have a big problem with restless legs or whatever it is. And then put a king sheet over that and still have that less motion. And that's what we did for a long time, but then we ended up having to go to a split king. So a life hack, I guess, would just be that you have to do what you have to do because you have to sleep. People have
mhm.
to sleep. And so sometimes a split king really does make a difference, and it really has for us. So that's my next life hack, a weird one.
Yeah, it's a good one, though, it's a good one. It always makes me think of my grandparents. For all my life that I knew them, they slept on 2 twin beds. It was just like
Mm,
the old TV shows, their bedroom
yeah.
always had 2 twin beds with a little end table,
In
nightstand in
between.
the middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
and for the longest time, I thought that was so weird. Why aren't they sleeping together?
Yeah. Well, I like, I whenever we go somewhere in a hotel and they have 2 queens, I'm pretty happy about that because I know I'm gonna sleep good. But I don't wanna do that all the time. I don't wanna I want 'em
Mhm,
to be right there because there's
mhm.
There's m I mean, to use the word intimacy in a different way, it's
Mhm.
just you don't sleeping with someone is a form of intimacy, and
Mhm.
I don't wanna lose that, so I want
Yeah.
him to still be
Yeah.
there, but I just don't wanna feel him there.
Still there, but way over there.
Yeah. Stay on your side.
That's right. You're crossing my line.
Well, I think I've said that a time or 2.
Okay, so this next one, literally, I just learned this week, but I'm
Okay.
putting it at the top of the list in case I run out of time because it is that good. So I was, working in the kitchen at VBS. I was wearing my OOFAs, and out of the blue, I had the worst foot cramp. I mean, the kind that there was no covering. Like, there was no walking around pretending like nothing was going on. My whole foot was just, like, curling up, and I was trying to squat down so I could press my toes backwards, and I was like, and so the ladies were going, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "Foot cramp, foot cramp, foot cramp." I'm, like, hobbling around.
Like a
That
Charlie
doesn't
horse?
happen to me very often. What?
Like a Charlie horse?
No, a foot like, my actual foot, like, where your toes wanna curl down like that.
Yeah. I guess I call that a Charlie horse in your foot, okay.
Oh, I thought that was in the back of your leg or something. Well, anyway, that rarely happens to me. Every now and then in the middle of the night, I'll
Mhm,
get a foot cramp, but it just doesn't happen to me that often. Well, Cherie Mabry was in the kitchen and she said, "Eat a spoonful of mustard."
mhm.
And I thought she was pulling my leg. And I kept saying, "Uh-uh." And she was like, "I'm serious. Try it. Try it." And I went, "Is this a joke? Are you just trying to get me to eat mustard?" And she was like, "Just try it." And so she did. She squirted a spoonful of mustard and handed it to me, and she was like, "Down the hatch, all in one," and I did, and it was kinda not very pleasant,
Yeah.
but she was like, "You watch, you just wait and see, you watch," and I'm going, "Uh-huh." I kid you not, in less than a minute, I was like, "It's gone!" And she said, "Told you." So
Is it like pickle juice? Kinda? Like
well, Vivian Grice is
vinegar?
in there too, and she said it's the sodium in it.
Uh,
And there was something else they said that you could take if you didn't have mustard, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it really worked and it worked fast. I was super impressed and I'd never heard that in my life.
yeah.
So,
Cherie's Janelle's mom, right?
yes.
And isn't she a nurse? Am I
Yes.
okay, so I guess she gets,
She knows. She knows, yeah. But I
yeah,
still thought she was trying to, like, get me to eat mustard.
just eat mustard, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not exactly something I want a spoonful of, but okay,
No, no,
good to
but
know.
it did work. Mhm.
Okay. All right, my next one is something that I recently found out, and it may be one of those things that everybody's like, "Duh, of course we do that." But my least favorite chore is putting things up, especially clothes. I don't know why it is that way, but I just hate putting up clothes, and so usually when I do laundry, I'll fold and put away the things that need to be folded and put away, but the
Mhm.
shirts and pants and things that they'll end up I'll put them on the bed, then I move them to the chair at night, and then I put them back on the bed and, back and forth because I hate hanging them up. So, I think it was because I was going back and forth from the closet to the bed to hang it up and then take it back to the closet. So the other day, I got this brilliant idea of taking all the hangers out of the closet, taking them to the pile of clothes, putting them on the hangers while they were on my bed, and then taking them all back into the closet in one trip and hanging them up in the place that they went. And it made a huge difference for me. So
Mhm.
put the hangers on your clothes on the bed or in your laundry room or wherever and then hang them up rather than to carrying them one by one into the closet to hang them up. And maybe again, that might be a duh, but it's new to me, so maybe somebody else might need to hear it.
Yeah, I remember for the longest, especially when you have kids and laundry is an overwhelming daily task. It's like, what
Mm,
are the tips and tricks? What can we do to streamline this thing? What can we do to make this less of an overwhelming mountain to climb? Give me
oh, yeah.
all the laundry tips.
Yeah. Especially the wintertime with 3 boys, and I know you know this, but jeans and 3
Yeah.
boys in the wintertime and mud and yeah,
Yeah.
I was so glad when it became spring and summer.
Yeah. All the layers, sweatshirts. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
good one.
one.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see, what do I wanna do next? I think my next one, and this might be I feel like I'm gonna say this about all of them too. Everybody probably already knows this. You know those great big tubs of fresh green spinach that you can get at
Mhm.
Sam's or whatever? Um, I always like getting those things, but especially now that there's just 2 of us, we can never eat through all of that before it goes bad. We just don't. But what I do now is I just put it straight in my well, if we use it fresh, when we first get it, like in a salad or something, we'll do that, but then I just put the whole thing straight in the freezer, and it comes with that peel back
Yeah.
film on the top, and it's already been triple washed and ready to go, and so then all you gotta do is grab it all freezes individually. You don't have to do anything to it, literally stick the whole thing in the freezer, and when you peel that thing back, those things just they don't stick together, they're just frozen. And you can put it straight into your pot of soup or what I do with it is every morning I add a big handful or 2 to my smoothie. And so, or any pasta dish or casserole, whatever, you can just and it never goes bad.
Mhm.
So it's so convenient. And I first heard that from I've mentioned the Acre Homestead YouTube channel on here before. She does that with her spinach. And when I saw that idea, I thought it was a genius idea and I love it. We have never lost any spinach since then.
Hmm. Well, we use that more for salads than anything else, so I guess that wouldn't necessarily work if you did
No.
a salad because it'd be wilted, but I can
Mhm.
see that'd be perfect for soups and casseroles and
Mhm.
things.
Like that sausage potato soup, you could add some to that or just vegetable soup or whatever. It'd be good.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
you can also I discovered this not too long ago because I always have one of those big tubs. John eats it every day. If you stick a paper towel in it, it'll absorb some and kinda move it around in there, it'll absorb the if there's any water that kinda
Mhm.
makes them go icky, gross, I can't
Mhm.
stand getting a bite like that.
Yeah,
Just leave a paper towel sitting in it while you have it in the fridge. So,
that's a
good.
good idea. Mhm.
Okay, this is kind of an extreme one, but it's been when I was just trying to think of things that have made a difference in my life. Where I'm sitting right now used to be our garage, but so we moved in this house in 1996, and I think in around 2000, something like that, we enclosed the garage. And John did it. I think maybe his brother helped us. I can't remember who all did, but there's several carpenters. So the doors behind me, all that is a big closet. There's bookshelves on one side, and then there's a refrigerator on the other side. But it's just about 4 feet wide. So the garage doors are on the outside, and we just permanently close them, and so it still looks like a garage outside.
Mhm.
But the closet has it's a ton of storage, and we just put folding doors over it. So we basically just built a closet where
Mm.
the garage doors were. And so when we enclosed it, we put a step because there was a step, it was a difference in height, but there's a landing here. But we first used it for a playroom for the boys. We just called it the game room. So that's what it was from 2000 until 2016, something like that. And
Mhm.
it was just like an alternative place for people to gather. And so when we had company over, all the kids would come out here. We had a TV out here and the games, with the Wii or whatever game system was, books, games, and things like that. And so the kids were not underfoot and the adults would stay in there. And it was great for a game room. And then when we went to Bible passages, then this became John's office, and it was for a good 8 years or so. And then he moved his office into one of the spare bedrooms, and I use this now. So now it's been a game room, it's been just kind of a company room, it's been, like, spare sleeping area lots of
Mhm.
times because we used to have a big, huge couch out here, and then 2 different offices. So you don't have a garage anymore, but you can
Mhm.
still build one outside or just a covered area for your cars. But we just park our cars outside, and it has been far more useful to us
Mhm.
enclosed as a room than it ever was as a garage. So think about enclosing your garage. Somebody could be a whole lot more creative than we were and do neat things in here, but we insulated it better and put a little unit, like an air conditioning unit. I can't remember what they're called,
Mhm.
the kinds
Mhm.
that are vented to the outside. But we, for a long time, just had a window unit in it, but it's really, really made a difference, so I just thought that might be something that people might wanna know about.
Yeah, think outside the box with your space. You don't have to use it for what it was intended for.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
like you're doing with
Yeah.
your office now.
Mhm. Yeah. Good one.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna kinda combine a couple of my last things have to do with, like, skincare or, stuff like that. So, the one that my sister, I think, heard me first mention when she suggested this episode is I quit buying shaving cream, and I always go through my shampoo faster than my hair conditioner.
Mhm.
And I always have leftover hair conditioner, so I use that when I'm shaving my legs,
Yeah.
and, I feel like it makes my skin softer. I actually decided I liked it better, so I just stopped. Now, if it's a really expensive shampoo or conditioner, which I don't buy that often, but if I had, I'm not gonna use that for
Yeah.
shaving cream, but typically, like I said, I always have bottles of shaving or, hair conditioner laying
Mhm.
around that we would typically move to, like, the spare shower in case we have guests or something, and it was just kind of collecting in there.
Yeah.
So and then, another thing I do is I always put a drop of frankincense in my moisturizer. So whether it's my morning moisturizer or my evening moisturizer, I put a drop of frankincense. I put some in my hand, put a drop of frankincense in it, mix it up, and then put it on my face because frankincense is really good for you. And I just use this Revive brand. I've mentioned it on here before. It's therapeutic grade, so it's really good, 100% pure. And frankincense is really good for you, really good for your skin. So.
Someone
Think those are
suggested
the
that for
last ones I'm gonna share today.
someone suggested that for, writing, like, cramps, hand cramps, frankincense.
Mm,
Have you heard anything like that?
mm-mm,
And it did help, it did help.
mm.
Okay, well, so just time for one more?
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw this on one of those videos that come across your Instagram all the time, but so take a hanger and a sock and put the sock over the hanger, and then you can slide it under the dryer and washer and the refrigerator,
Ah,
and it pulls out all of the dust bunnies and stuff. I don't do it
good
nearly enough,
one.
but yeah, I mean, you can use this anywhere, any surface. You
Yeah,
can just
that's a
slide it
good
under.
one.
Yeah, so there's
I
your
like it.
little dusting hint, life hack.
Genius.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that 'cause, that's always hard to get to. I can
yeah,
think of all kinds of spaces.
I just need to figure out what to attach here where I can just put it on the ground and slide it, not have to get on my knees.
Somebody will invent that too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, well, who knew that we actually had enough for probably a second episode,
Yeah.
but we are out of time because we both have appointments, and so let's go ahead and do you said that you have something good for us, and I'm gonna let you go last because yours is
Okay.
really good. Um, and mine is too because it came from my sister, so not sorry,
Mhm.
Chris. But, yeah, so Christy texted me this week and said, "I have something good for you to share," and, it is a recipe app called Resemi. It's
Mm,
like RECI and then ME.
okay.
And it's for all those times that you take, when you're scrolling or whatever and you run across a recipe and you take a screenshot of it.
Mhm. And then forget where it is.
Right. And then you have to go back and look for it and all. Well, this app, anytime you see something like that, whether it's in your feed or on a YouTube video or just a short, a lot of people share quick little recipe things in a short from a video.
Mhm.
You can use this app to download it, and it pulls that recipe and just puts it in a really easy to read recipe format. Here's your ingredients and here's how to make it. No matter what format you found it in.
Awesome.
It takes it and then you can also have them all organized into different types of recipes, and the app does a ton more things too. I was kinda skimming through it, like, it helps you can come up with a shopping list from all your recipes. You can come up with, a planning, what to do with all your ingredients. I mean, there are all kinds of things. You can keep track of macronutrients and stuff like that. But so it does a lot more. But the biggest takeaway that Christy was trying to share is no more scrolling through your photos and all the places that you've
Mhm.
saved all these, recipes. It just keeps them all in one place,
Yeah.
all organized. You can look it up and it has already pulled that recipe for you and put it into a really simple format instead of you having to
Perfect.
go, yeah, digging for that. And it'll come up with your shopping list for you. So
Resemi,
Resemi,
Recime.
Recime, free app. Mhm.
Okay, cool. All
Yep.
right, so mine is about Grow and Glorify, the magazine from Excel Still More that we've talked about on here before, and you have an article. There's a new issue that came out just this week, and Kathy has a great article in there too. So It's been an online magazine, and we've been talking for a while about how great it would be if it could be in print. And so now you can subscribe and get the issues themselves printed, and it's $8.99 a month. So I asked Garrett this morning because I was confused about, for those of us who've already paid for a subscription, was the
Mhm.
$8.99 on top of that, or was it going to be just included? So anyone who doesn't have a subscription already, you can go to the Grow and Glorify page and subscribe. But if you already have a subscription, you can get a discount on the $8.99 a month. And I want to say, I don't remember how much it was. I think it's down. The digital plan is going to be 24. The print plan is $8.99 a month. Like I say, they give you a code for the first 150 days on the print plan if you already have a subscription. So it won't be $8.99. It'll be a little bit less than that. But they are really hoping that for this next issue that there will be 200 new subscribers to that so that they'll be able to print it. I know I didn't give very clear. I printed it out and then didn't read it before I said it, but I will share all of this information next week from Grow and Glorify that they're going to start printing if they have enough people subscribe. It'll be $8.99 a month. I will put all of this information in the group next week, and I'll link to where you can subscribe, and I'll try to find out all the details. I think there's still he's already played with the subscribing button and said it seems to be working fine, but I'm sure there's going to be more information that we're going to need, and
Yeah.
I'll share that in the group next week. So Grow and Glorify print edition.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, friends, do check that out. And that's a crazy good price for a print edition. That is unheard of. And it's a
Mhm.
beautiful magazine. But more than that, very textual heavy, good Bible study, good encouragement, good fellowship and hospitality ideas. I mean, everything you want in a good magazine for Christian women. So, yes,
Yeah.
highly recommend everybody checking that out. Grow and Glorify magazine.
And it'll look great on your coffee table after you've read it, and you can share
Yeah.
it and
And pass it
spread.
along.
Yeah, pass it on.
Use it for your Bible classes, all kinds of
Mhm.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for joining us today, everyone. Thank you for listening. Please share your life hacks with us. We'd love to get some more great ideas from you all. And Carla, until next time,
Keep looking up.
all right, love you, friend.
Love you too. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.